back to BFR, a channel dedicated to discussing, rating, and ranking some of our favorite bands of all time. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bernie, and tonight we're going to discuss the American metal band Avenged Sevenfold. And the thing about them is that metal in the 2000s in America was just destroyed.
Piss.
You can thank certain bands, Metallica.
Oh.
But these guys kind of came out of nowhere. They came out of the depths of the metalcore genre and started making some amazing music. And we're going to tell you about the best of it tonight.
The first album on our list is 2013's Hail to the King. And I don't... Oh, look what you did. You wore a shirt thing. I wore a different shirt thing. And we'll get to this album in a little bit.
Right now we're going to do this one.
Yes. The album we're discussing is Hail to the King. There are a few things to say about this.
It's a bit of an uneven album.
It's a very uneven album.
It has its quirks.
It's a weird place for Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, we're gonna get into all this, and we're not putting numbers up, pretty little numbers, and then ranking these things because most of their catalog is really consistent.
Yeah, they've always been very good, except for maybe their first one. We'll get to that later.
Oh, we'll definitely get to that fucking garbage.
This one's a bit unique. You want to consult Bob there?
Bob!
I need to see this one.
Bobbits! Listen to this, son. Son? What, is that my new thing? Forget kids, now it's son now.
There's your kid.
There's the album, which basically shows the same thing we're doing here, but maybe you can't see that, and I can't get any closer, because my fat legs can't hold up my enormous girth. This is as close... But you fucking laughed at me again, you prick. There's the album, and I don't know if this reminds you of anything.
It should.
There is a death bat on here, which is not on the other album I'm thinking of right now.
No, there's actually a little snake in the corner.
There is, and what album is that?
That would be the Black Album by
shit.
Metallica.
Oh shit.
And guess what?
This is their Black Album in more ways than one.
Right. Not only is it at times not very original, at times it's just a blatant ripoff
of Metallica.
Megadeth.
Yeah. Yep.
You name the thrash band, and they kind of took a little piece from songs, at least things that you would listen to and say, that could be a Megadeth song. That could be a Metallica song. In fact, I think that is a Metallica song. And then the chorus kicks in, it's a completely different song. But it's kind of their little love letter to the bands of the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
And I assume it had to be done on purpose.
Oh, I don't mind it a bit.
Because like, even as you and me were rating this, I remember sitting there and picking out what band they ripped off or paid homage to, whatever. In like every song, there's something in there that ties back to classic thrash.
Yep.
Or stuff like that, and it's not a bad thing. It's nice to kind of be brought back to.
I just wish they'd admit it, because I'm pretty sure they pretty much denied.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, this is all original. We fucking wrote all of it.
Meant to do that, and it doesn't sound like Metallica, but it so does.
Yeah, it does.
Sad but true. And the biggest culprit.
That one's bad.
Is there's a song on here that sounds exactly like Sad but True, and they denied it. They 100% denied it. But unless they're deaf, and they're not, because they're really good, they definitely took a little page out of Sad but True's book.
Yeah.
But
it being the Black Album, I mean, they kind of ripped off Metallica hardcore. And mainstreamed their sound, just like Metallica did with the Black Album, and there's no way they didn't do this on purpose.
And it's produced extraordinarily well.
Oh, it sounds great.
Just like the metal bands that they're trying to emulate here. It's a good time. We definitely like it.
If you know anything about Avenged Sevenfold, and if you don't, we're gonna teach you every fucking thing you need to know. in the next like 45 minutes or hour or 3 hours. Who knows? We never know how long a video's gonna last.
I hope it's not going to be 3 hours.
It could be 3 hours long. We have
3
no idea. We're gonna talk about M Shadows for 28 minutes right now. Go!
I have a question.
And there you have it. So there you go. So this will be a shorter one. Not that we don't know a lot about this band, but the band's not. They haven't been around long enough to really like build up a storied career where you have all these like weird anecdotes you can tell about them and stories that came out in the media about them.
They've been through a bit, though.
They're fucking younger than us.
Yeah, but they have been through a bit throughout their short career.
Oh, they absolutely have.
We'll get into all that.
Yeah, no, they have.
It's
But
not been all sunshine and roses for these guys.
But this album came out after a couple really heavy hitting,
Probably their best three.
like hardcore, like really. I mean, these guys were not fucking around. Like they were doing metal that nobody was doing in the '90s. It was updated Maiden with like a hardcore aesthetic a little bit.
Yeah,
And
they covered like a whole bunch of different styles. There was heavy metal, there was hard rock, there was metalcore. They had the melodic, almost death thing going on.
Yeah.
Power metal. They covered it all.
Mhm.
And that's
and did it well.
they did it really well. They almost single-handedly brought American metal, back to respectable. There might be one other band that kind of did the same thing.
I think I know where you're going.
2000s.
I think I know where you're going with
We're not
that.
even going to mention them because we're going to.
That's for another time.
But these guys are definitely help bring it back.
I mean,
for
as I look,
American metal.
as I look at the back of this thing, and you can't read anything because they're dicks. Like they made everything so that it's like you have to fucking like squint at it like an old person, which I also am that. But I remember, "Hail to the King" was the first single from the album, the title track, and immediately you knew what they were going for. They were going for a more, I don't want to say stock, because it's a bad word, but it is stock.
It's kind of stock metal.
Not a lot of double bass on this, if any double bass on this album.
No, they pulled a Lars on the Black Album and just went.
Except this drummer could actually still play drums.
As easy
like
as
a
can
little
be,
bit.
yeah.
Sorry, Lars. Not sorry, Lars. Sorry for your face.
That's worse than what I said.
What happened?
That is worse
Did you
than
see
what I
his
said.
hairline? It's worse than mine.
I can't help that.
His hairline is like down to his asshole. And then his face looks like an asshole. Sorry, Lars. Once again, not sorry, Lars. But anyway, let's get off Lars.
And I think we pretty much covered that album as well.
I think so. It's a great album. It was them for a new period in time. There was some lineup change, a lineup change. It was pretty significant in between, and we'll talk about that more.
Don't listen to this one first. This is not the first one you want to listen to.
No, don't listen to this first.
But it definitely rates. It's a good album.
It rates high.
You'll understand how good this actually is after you get a little more involved with the rest of their discography.
This album is a picture book into everything they based their entire career off of.
Exactly.
And so, if you want to hear that, you want to hear some fucking Avenged doing a thing there,
or someone else's thing,
where they go
sometimes.
back, and definitely somebody else's thing, because you can't always have your own thing. Sometimes there's another thing that comes in.
Yeah, sometimes you need somebody else's thing to make your thing better.
That's a weird, fucking weird. I think we just had a sexual conversation there. It's not an actual sexual conversation, but if you have a thing and somebody else brings you their thing, it could make your thing better. I think I heard that when I was like 14 years old in a dark alleyway behind a fucking Dunkin' Donuts somewhere.
That explains a lot.
Stop making fun of me. But there it was. Hail to the King. We're not going to ramble too much about this stuff tonight. We're going to try and mainstream everybody else. Not mainstream.
Slipstream.
Slipstream?
No, that's not right either.
No, it's not. Stream.
Stream. No.
Audio stream.
No,
YouTube
is what you're
stream.
doing right now.
We're going to YouTube stream.
If you're watching this, you're kind of streaming, right?
What the
Yeah,
fuck
because
is
you don't download it, so unless you
It's
stream
not
it,
slipstream. What's the word?
audio stream.
I'm not even cutting this out.
Video stream.
We're going to try and Airstream, Sunbeam.
Sunbeam?
Okay, so obviously we've come into this not being 100% sober, and we can't think of the word that we're trying to think of. So leave it in the comments. We'll think of it later.
It apparently has the word stream in it.
And you can just make fun of us.
Or
we,
not.
We don't care. But there it was, the first album on the list in no particular order. Hail to the King, great album. Check it out. I got some links down below. The next album on our list is 2003's Waken the Fallen. I don't have cool, crazy stories to tell about this fucking album, other than the fact that it's a really great fucking album.
Well, see, what they did here is this is the first album that they actually had a lead guitar player. On the previous album, which was their first album, which they were 100% a metalcore band, they didn't even bother. They just, I think they were basically a four-piece on that one. They recorded it. And then on this one, they brought in, what's the guitar player's name? I can't remember it.
Zachy? Sinister?
No, Zachy.
Sinister Gates?
That's it, him. They brought him in, but guess what? They didn't let him play any solos. There's like 2 solos on the whole thing. But they brought him in, and they really needed him. The other thing that they started doing on this album is they kind of broke out of the metalcore thing a little bit. They started going towards more of the heavy metal, melodic thing. Like if you go listen to the first song on this album, it's a pretty long song, and you listen to it, it's like, I don't know if I like this, I don't know if I like this, I don't like this, and then all of a sudden, the singer M Shadows comes in and starts singing in a clean voice with backups and everything. Like, wow. And that's the first time you hear them be what they became on the next album, and the next album, and the next album, and basically their signature sound throughout the rest of the 2000s.
So this was definitely a huge step forward. I mean, these guys were what, like an LA band? Something like that.
Think
They're a California band.
So.
And I mean, the hardcore thing, maybe you don't know me. You will, intimately, before this video is over.
Do I need to be around for that?
No, we need to do this on our own.
All right, because I gotta go.
Yeah, all right, you do. I mean, their first album didn't do a whole lot for me because there wasn't that melody I really liked. There wasn't any harmony. The clean vocals were sparse.
If that.
You got a few little times where M Shadows actually sang the songs.
Right, here and there.
But at the same time,
not a solo to be found.
A lot of people who hate Avenged Sevenfold now like this album. And it's mostly because of M Shadow's voice.
I don't know.
And listen, Shadows, dude.
Oh yeah, here's my question from before.
Oh.
What do you think of bands who rename themselves some weird name?
Weird names.
That's not their name. Now I understand it looks better when you open up the inlay cover, and when your real name is Ralph Jones.
You're right.
M Shadows looks a lot better. I don't know if that's his actual name. But that's what they
no,
did.
It's not.
I mean, to me, it kind of reminds me of like a Guns N' Roses thing. You have Duff,
right.
and Axl, and Slash.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
I think bands have been doing that for a long time. A long time. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get into Blue Oyster Cult or not. Classic 70s, good stuff. We may or may not get into them. But they all did the same thing. In the very early 70s, they all had these weird stage names.
Right, stage names.
Like, it wasn't this guy, it was whatever, like unicorn dookie porn. And maybe that's not the actual. Really? I may have made that up.
Really? Wow, I'm not ever listening to that.
But bands were doing this for a long time, and I don't know.
It's not a new thing. I understand.
I don't know if it. I mean,
how many true metal bands have done this and kept it? Like, they didn't even drop it. Once they got popular, they didn't drop it.
They
still
always
have
did.
their fake names.
And if I remember, I mean, because the drummer for this band, one of the greatest metal drummers maybe ever, by the way, and we'll probably get more into him later. But the Rev, I think on the first album, he was like the Reverend Bartholomew something. He had like this really long, ridiculous name. And I mean, people aren't going to remember that. Just throwing that out there. People aren't going to remember that. Like, be Dick Jones. People will always remember Dick. You see what I'm saying? Like,
No, I don't. I completely don't see what you're saying. But it's funny.
I mean, I guess it's. I don't know if it's
Poor choice of words.
like some grand plan for a stage show or for an alter ego. Like all the Kiss members had names and people knew them by their names, but they were still the Starman, the Fox, the whatever the original Kiss members, you know.
Right.
So I guess it was always kind of a thing where bands did it. I don't understand why a band like Avenged Sevenfold would do it in the
thing.
2000s.
It's metal. It's a metal
goofy.
band in the 2000s, and they did it, and they stuck with it.
It's goofy.
And they keep it to this day. It's on that. Wherever it went.
Oh.
Did you ever get that out?
Oh, hey, there is. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. Bob Abides.
Yeah, if you look on the inlay cover of this thing inside, or the insert, whatever it's called, their fake names are in there. The real names are... There you go. That's it right there.
That one.
And there's a different inside than the outside.
Truth.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's a little...
It is weird.
It's a little...
It is weird. And I mean, maybe not so weird, because I remember being like a 13, 14-year-old kid, just got my first drum kit, and I had a stage name. I had a name that I wanted to be... I wanted to adopt a stage name. And then some scumbag fucking wrestler took it from me.
Oh, who was that?
Chris Jericho.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah. And for the same reason that I did. Because, hey, my name's Chris, right?
Right.
And Walls of Jericho, Halloween.
I'm sure he didn't.
That's exactly why I took it.
Really?
Chris Jericho's a huge Halloween fan.
I guess I'm a
And
Chris Jericho fan now.
he renamed himself after that album, and his finishing move in the WWE was called the Walls of Jericho.
I didn't watch wrestling.
I am not a wrestling fan at all, but I know that. Because I know Halloween.
Okay.
And so that kind of seeped into my dirty, old, stupid head.
Well, then I guess he's a lot cooler than I thought he was.
He's way cooler. If only for that reason.
Okay.
But
we've digressed a bit into Halloween.
that's what we do.
Talking about Avenged Sevenfold.
We will always go back to Halloween a little bit, because if you saw our first episode, you know how much we absolutely love Halloween and how important they are.
Apparently it's all relevant.
We get kind of sucked back into that every now and then. But this is Avenged Sevenfold with M. Shadows and Sinister Gates and Zachy Vengeance and the Reverend Bartholomew who the what's it the fuck that name was.
And whoever the bass
And Johnny
player is.
Christ.
Right. Him.
So yeah, they had no desire to make you care about who they were.
But now you know who they are.
I am Johnny Christ. That is who I am. Like, whatever. Regardless of their names, the guys are fucking musicians. And when this album came out, they were still kind of kids. I mean, they weren't young at all. They were or old at all. They were probably in their early 20s.
They weren't old.
Maybe when this came out. Like, I mean...
Yeah, and they were starting to get into their sound. They were starting to streamline
the word we couldn't think of before.
Their sound.
Yes. Yeah, they were. They were quickly becoming what they would become in the next couple of years when
The next album.
their career really blew up. And this is kind of where it started, I think, for me. And not this was the first album I bought, but this is the first album in hindsight, looking back on it, where their sound really took shape. They knew exactly who they wanted to be and how they wanted to do it, and this album started it. Long songs, like multi-part songs. There's like a 10-minute song somewhere in the middle of the album.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius.
Oh, it's well better produced than the previous one as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They finally started getting that right too. This is much better. And you might disagree, but I'm going to recommend don't start with this one either. This is one that you want to get into again after you've heard a couple of their better ones.
Okay.
And then come back to this one and see where it began. If you start with this one, depending on who you are, you may gain a better appreciation for what they became, or you might get a little turned off right off the bat. depends on your musical tastes.
I agree and I disagree at the same time. So I know what you're going for, but if this is the first album you ever played by Avenged Sevenfold, you're gonna see why this is where it's at right now in our list, because it is the beginning of their sound, and there's still some of the screamier vocals from the previous album and
stuff.
Yeah, but for the most part, there's a shit ton of melody on this album.
Yep.
There's a lot of harmonized guitar and
They found that they
clean,
had two guitar players.
Yeah, the clean vocal bridges that lead up into these amazing choruses. This is where it all started. So I will agree. Like, maybe you shouldn't start here. There's an album you should start with, which we're going to get to soon. Mm-hmm. But if you did start with this one and you found the band through this album, I think it's good enough to make you want to seek out everything that came after it.
I agree with that.
I
agree. You would want to see now, especially knowing that there's better to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is okay.
Yeah, it's a very solid album.
But
it's a very solid album.
For me, I recommend starting with something that's really good first, and then move backwards, because this doesn't quite live up to what we're going to talk about next.
Okay, well,
This is my opinion.
well, this guy.
I get one.
Stop being so hostile. Oh my! Did you see what he just did? He leaned into me like all fucking alpha male and wanted to beat my head in over fucking Zacky Vengeance. See what he did?
Is that what I did?
You did a little bit. You leaned into me.
I leaned.
You were like,
I don't think I leaned like that, because I got a little worried right there.
that's what happened. He tried to start a fucking mosh pit in the BFR studios, a.k.a. my dirty, stinky ballsack attic. Yeah. You'll hear more about my dirty, stinky attic later on. Or you won't.
You won't.
You will.
You won't.
Maybe not tonight, but I'm going to bring it up every time. It stinks up here. It's like wet dog and afterbirth and...
Really?
No, I have no idea where I'm going with that.
I have no idea.
No idea where I'm going with that. So before we get too
I
long...
don't even know what that smells like.
I don't either. It's gross, I guess. It's got to be gross, right?
I can't not.
Have you ever seen one?
I'm not sure.
I haven't, because, no, ew. Fuck that noise. But...
We're sorry.
But...
We're not sorry.
This is what we just did.
Yeah.
We talked about that album that Avenged Sevenfold did. We think it's a fucking great album.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good.
Not top notch, but it's getting there. This started the classic period of this band, as far as I'm concerned. The important period of this band starts right here.
I agree 100%. Check it out.
The next album on our list
is 2010's Nightmare.
What the fuck? What we got really close there.
You got close.
That was uncomfortable for me. That was uncomfortable for me.
You caused it.
But it is this album.
Yeah, Nightmare.
It is Nightmare. 2010. And this album probably was a nightmare. Some really ugly shit went down before this album came out.
Yes, it certainly did.
And this still sounds like the classic Avenged lineup for the most part. But let me tell you a thing. You want to tell him a thing, or should I tell him a thing?
Oh, you go first.
What happens? Okay. Well, the Reverend Bartholomew Plague, his full stage name, which is ridiculous, by the way. The Rev died.
Yep, that happened.
I think it was drug related.
I honestly don't know.
I don't remember. He was like 28 years old or something.
Yeah, they're still all very young right now.
And shit went bad. And the Rev, being the crazy, outspoken drummer, like John Bonham from Zeppelin and Keith Moon from The Who, these crazy drummers seem to burn out quick. That's what happened with the Rev. And so he wasn't here for this album. Because he was dead. That's what happened to him.
But he contributed mightily.
He, from what I understand, he like pretty much laid down a lot of his drum tracks, or at least put down like tablature. Like there was a like a line. Not what happened? Did you just say to me now?
You said line.
There's no line. God damn it. He pretty much put out a blueprint.
That's a better word.
For what his drums were going to do.
Yeah.
I think he laid down some backing vocals for the album because he's still on. You could hear him.
That is true. I believe I read that somewhere.
Right. And there is a demo version of Nightmare, the title track from the album, with the Rev playing the drums on it.
Okay, so very involved.
And guess what? It sounds just like the drums that the replacement drummer laid down later on.
What was that?
Did any of you ever hear of a band called Dream Theater?
Wait, I see a hand in the back. 2 hands.
There's a guy over there too.
3 hands.
Who's that guy?
He fell over.
He's got big boobs. That guy has big tits.
But he has his hand up, so he knows.
I can't even tell. It's like a tit and then maybe 2 fingers? Like firecracker incident? Like he's got a weird hand.
Raise the other hand.
See what you
Go back to the other hand.
Don't do it.
Go back to the 2-finger hand.
Don't do that.
But the hand's up, so he knows who it is.
Okay, good. Well, don't ever ask anybody out there.
You never know
what
what you're
they're
going to
doing.
get. It's a mixed bag.
You're gonna get that guy. That guy right there with that fucking face.
He's an unwatchable.
Oh my!
Unlike
Look at
us.
his shirt. Did you see his shirt?
No, I... Stop
That's
watching.
vomit. There's vomit on his shirt.
Really?
No, it's definitely vomit.
You think? Could be just sloppy eating.
No, it looks like vomit.
Well, you're probably right.
So
Anyway, he knows who Dream Theater is.
carry on. Yes, Dream.
Yeah,
He
okay.
knows who Dream Theater is.
So proceed.
Oh, it's my.
You were asking.
You're
the
giving it right
people
back
if,
to me.
If anybody knew who Dream Theater is.
Okay, well, Dream Theater is a band. In case you didn't know.
And 3 of them know who it is.
Maybe one of the greatest bands musically of all time.
Pretty much.
And we're gonna do some of that shit at some point.
Well, we're certainly
On the
fans.
show.
We're certainly fans.
We're gonna do an episode on Dream Theater because no metal channel would be complete without some Dream Theater in your day. But
Eventually.
toward the end of okay, I'm just gonna throw his name out here.
Go ahead.
Mike Portnoy.
Probably most of you know who that is.
You know that guy? He's in like every band that ever existed in the last fucking 20 years or some shit. He's everywhere.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like he's basically out in your garage hanging out right now.
Waiting for you to form a band for him to be in.
Yes. Yeah. And you
'Cause he doesn't care. He's just going to play with everybody.
you wish you could be in a band with Mike Portnoy because guess what? Drum God. That those words were pretty much written for Mike Portnoy, I think.
Unless you want to be the best person, the best musician in your band, then you do not want him to be
No.
in your band because you will never be the best musician in your band.
Exactly.
If he's in your band.
Exactly.
So if you're that kind of person, find somebody else.
Yeah. But he takes hiatus from Dream Theater. He fills in for the Rev on this album.
A fair replacement.
And the tour. And I guess the Rev was actually a really big Mike Portnoy fan, which is I think how they made this decision. Not like anybody would have needed to make that decision because it's Mike Portnoy. Like, who else is going to do the crazy shit the Rev did? Let's just call Mike Portnoy. He probably already learned this in the car on the way over here. But not to keep talking about Mike Portnoy. I mean,
But he was on his album.
he's
And the
the tour. I believe my shirt I believe is from that tour when I saw
But I
him.
don't think he was playing drums that night. Because I was. At
Oh no, I
saw.
definitely saw them with.
Was he? Oh, you saw it.
I saw them with Portnoy.
Okay,
Yeah.
when I saw them, he was not there.
Montage.
No.
Montage Mountain
Bethlehem.
in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, folks.
Okay, he might have been there,
Big metal festival place.
but he wasn't at Bethlehem.
No. Portnoy was at this show, though. We digress
Again,
a lot.
often.
But let me dig into Bob's fucking head hole. This one right here, with a front and a back and a spine. That one is called Nightmare. We've been kind of talking about it for a little bit and sort of not talking about it for a little bit. But guess what? It's fucking great.
This is easily, in my opinion, it's their third best album.
Okay.
But they're one, two, three albums. 3, 2, 1. They're pretty much all the same.
Yeah.
This is what they do. This is as good as they get. Again, going back to the start here, start there sort of thing. You can start here. This is fine. Go ahead, listen to this one.
Yeah.
You're not going to be disappointed. It's nearly perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Nearly a perfect
It
album.
is. It's at this point in their career, they
made it.
They knew how to like throw the ballads in. They knew how to throw like to kind of like play back to their early sound, where they would have some of like the blast beats and the crazy shit here and there. But it wasn't the focal point. It was the focal point was still the melodies and the harmonies and the
extremely melodic.
Yeah.
Excellent guitar playing.
Yeah.
Drumming, obviously. Crazy long songs here and there. Well structured. That way you don't know what's coming next.
Right.
Not stalked by any means whatsoever.
Yeah. This is not Hail to the King.
No.
Hail to the King, I think, was the album right after this.
It was. That's why I don't start with that one.
Which makes me kind of wonder, how much did the Rev have to do with their songwriting and the way they approached songs? Because their songs up to this point, and this is mostly still stuff written by the Rev and whatnot, it still sounds exactly like that just sick, awesome, crazy, all over the place fucking Avenged that I fell in love with when I heard them.
And I don't think we 100% know quite yet. We have Hail to the King, which doesn't even count, because we know what they were going for there. They were just tribute to bands that they were influenced by. And then there's another one after that. We'll talk about that later. It's a departure. Definitely a departure.
Yeah.
And then what comes next, what they do next, will show us what Avenged was.
What they do next in our list, but what they did before this album.
Before this album, we know it is pretty much that. Maybe even better.
There might be an album or two before this that are
better.
That are fucking ridiculous, you mean?
Yeah. But I mean, if you want to see how much the Rev had an influence, we pretty much have to wait until Avenged next new album. We have to give them one chance after their newest one, which is a bit of a departure.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
And then if they go back to this, and this solid on the next one, then we know, and they can pretty much handle it on their own. If not, well, then we know pretty much who might have been responsible for the best stuff they ever wrote.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, and the Rev, not only was he a ridiculous drummer, you would hear where their harmonies were at a certain point, because the Rev was in all the harmonies. He was that fucking high, crazy guy screaming and squealing and doing that thing that he did. And he was fucking phenomenal at it.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. In metal, if you didn't know, generally, if you hear a lot of vocal harmonies in a metal song, it's probably the lead singer overdubbing his own vocal line for whatever harmonies there are. There's probably not another band member that can do the harmonies as well as the actual singer. On stage, live, there's probably somebody who's good enough to pull it off. But for the album, why bother? Just the singer can probably hit all 3-4 parts. Let him do it. Let him do it. This Avenged did it differently. Rev could actually sing the parts, so he did it.
And he was great at it.
So another thing, a little bit special.
And I kind of hope that the death of the Rev didn't change this band forever to a point where they're never gonna quite come back from this and be the band they used to be, because they haven't been since the Rev died.
No, they've been good, but they haven't been this great.
Right.
One other thing that definitely changed is I don't think the drummer's allowed to take on a fake name.
I don't even know who the new drummer is.
I think his last name is like Wackerman or something like that.
We looked that shit up later and then tell you about it.
Pretty sure that's not a made-up name.
He's the guy from Bad Religion. It's Bad Religion's drummer.
Is that his name?
I don't fucking know what his name is.
Well, it's a normal name.
It's
certainly not one you would pick.
Nope, his name's not in there. Even Bob don't give a fuck about his name, because he's not the Rev.
No.
That's what happens when you're not the Rev.
So that changed. I figure from now on, drummers aren't allowed to take fake names.
True.
Only the original four.
Yeah.
That's not fact.
They can do whatever they want. They do whatever they want.
I'm assuming so.
That was Nightmare. We rambled. Again, this is what we fucking do. But this is a fucking great album. The ballads are great. The heavier songs are fucking great. I don't know if they quite went into like their epic-y, like longer stuff, but
not so much on this one.
But the guitar harmonies are still fucking crazy. And by guitar harmony, I mean they like play their solos in fucking harmony. Like
right. It's a two-part guitar harmony.
Like they're
both as fast as each other.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's crazy. And people might not understand why we like this band, because they got a lot of hate. This band has a lot of hate behind them for some reason.
I don't get it.
I don't know if it's because of M Shadow's voice.
Nothing wrong with
I've seen a lot of people calling out M Shadows for having a nasally, whiny kind of voice. And I can hear that.
I can see.
It does not detract from their songs.
To me, it makes him a little unique. Kind of sets him apart.
Okay.
I'm okay with that voice. Of course, I also like Rush and Gamma Ray.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah, we're used to voices that might not be the greatest things in the world. You know what voice is the greatest thing in the world?
Michael Kiske?
Besides Michael Kiske.
Oh, no, what?
You see that poster over there, guys?
Oh.
I'm only going to do this one time. I'm going to do it tonight, because tonight is the 24th of November, although you won't get this for, I don't know, a couple weeks or whatever the fuck. But today is the 27th anniversary of the death of Freddie Mercury.
This is true.
Probably one of the greatest singers, songwriters, frontmen of all time.
Credit where credit's due.
There's a movie out now that's like tearing up the box office. Did
you see it yet?
Fucking what?
That guy has his hand up again.
He's watching an old episode of Barney Fife. He has no fucking idea what's going on right now.
Maybe he never put his hand down. I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention.
He's disgustingly fat. His arms might always be like this, like kind of like mine usually are.
Okay, did anybody else see it? Well, I know you did, because everybody saw the movie at this point.
But that's all I'm going to say about Freddie Mercury right now. I'm a huge Queen fan. I'm always going to give props to Freddie Mercury. So, 27 years today. Rest in peace, Fred. Love some Queen. Also love some Avenged Sevenfold. Just got done with Nightmare.
And from here on out, we're not going to talk about any more dead musicians.
No, true story. But we are going to talk about more fucking Avenged Sevenfold.
Coming right back.
Here it comes, YouTube. This fucking white thing behind us. That's an album. It's not the Beatles' White Album. It is Avenged Sevenfold's White Album. Self-titled 2007. Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's really pretty much almost the pinnacle.
Like fucking awesome. Like almost every song on this album is gloriously.
All the songs are good.
Oh, it's
all
so
the
good.
songs are good.
It's
Every
so
single
good.
song.
I'm immediately
Can't go wrong.
I'm
gonna go right in the Bob. Don't.
Bob is deep. Bob is deep. You might see a plastic pumpkin, Bob has a deep heart.
What we see is something different.
Don't judge Bob.
There it is. The most boring cover you're ever going to see in your life.
The White Album. And the back is also white.
But it may be one of the greatest albums you're ever going to listen to.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just say, like, really quick why we do Bob.
Go ahead.
We have Bob, and we put things in Bob. Because we want you to know that we're not just, like some loser doucheholes who fucking download all of this shit illegally on torrent sites and whatever the fuck else.
Right.
You know, we are fans of all these bands we're doing. We buy their CDs. And we want you to know that we buy their CDs, and you should do the same goddamn thing. Stop downloading. Stop being a fucking society, a loser, one-touch button fuckfaces who just have to have your album immediately, and you don't want to pay the bands to fucking listen to the songs. The bands don't exist. Stop it, Bob. Calm down. The bands don't exist if you don't buy their CDs. That's what we want you to know. That's why we keep showing you these things. We own them. This is what we do. Now calm the fuck down.
Now, by we, he means him. Is it okay if I pay monthly to a music streaming app?
Well, sure.
Thing,
sure it is.
And then listen to whatever I want.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
It's absolutely legal.
No, it's not illegal.
No, it's legal.
Oh,
it says absolutely legal.
Legal. Okay.
It's just, it's...
I don't own a physical copy.
Streaming has killed, I think, music in general.
So I killed music.
You, just you by yourself. Yeah.
Music, I'm sorry.
You were pretty much the one that did that. You and Lars Ulrich.
You
and Lars Ulrich killed fucking music.
No, well, he killed free music.
Well, he killed Metallica's music.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Oh, once again, Lars Ulrich, ladies and gentlemen, look him up on YouTube. You're going to find out some truth about Lars Ulrich if you look up on YouTube.
He killed Metallica. And music.
Okay, well...
And illegal downloading, which is probably not a bad thing. So if he did anything right for music, it was, you know, him and Metallica... a long time ago, put the skids on illegal downloading of music.
Yeah.
And now you got to pay for it. You got to buy the album or pay a fee monthly to stream it.
Yeah.
Which apparently is fine. I don't understand how that works. But I guess bands make money somehow.
Somehow. You're like a tenth of a penny on every fucking play or something. And we're also really harsh on fucking Lars Ulrich. Not harsher than his poor fucking genetics. But we're still really harsh. Sorry. We're still really harsh on Lars. Lars was a phenomenal drummer for a minute or two back in the 80s. Yeah. He's still a founding member of one of the greatest metal bands of all time. So we're harsh on Lars. We know you're not watching Lars. And if you are watching,
please.
If you are watching Lars...
If he was watching, there'd be people busting through the windows right here, right now, on zip lines with guns, just to.
But I'm calling Lars out.
Yeah.
Right now on here. If Lars stumbles across this shit and he thinks I'm wrong for saying the things that I say, come here. Come to the Pumpkin. Come see fucking Bob, and we'll sit around the fucking TV and we'll talk about it. Otherwise, shut up and keep playing your bad fucking garbage.
Someday, there will only be Metallica in Bob.
There will be. And guess what?
Most of it's going to be pretty good.
Sorry.
Yeah. It is. Most of it's actually going to be pretty good.
No, it's going to be fucking awesome. They defined the thrash sound.
Yeah. That's not an apology.
No, it's not. Lars, come at me, bro.
And it's the White Album, not the Black Album. They had one of those already, which was, we talked about it.
We did.
It's kind of a play on everybody else's music.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Metallica's Black Album.
Yes, exactly.
Right, but this is not that. This is better. by far.
The band got kind of weird on this album, which is I think why I really like it. They still had like the crazy songwriting skill and the crazy musicianship. They were still doing the same thing they were doing previously. But they kind of broadened out a little bit in this album. They did some weird shit.
And it worked.
I mean, like the ballad. Is it? Oh God, my God. What the fuck? Look what I'm doing.
Consult the.
Look what I'm fucking doing. Don't judge me. Don't you dare judge me, YouTube. Dear God, last song on the album. It's a full-fledged country song.
Kinda.
Nobody would fucking be like, oh yeah, that's Avenged Sevenfold. Like, no, it's like Garth Brooks had a stroke and then recorded a song. Basically, what it is. No disrespect, Garth Brooks, but
And we already said it's a perfect album, so I guess it was pretty good.
it is a perfect album. Because as far as a country song goes, it's a fucking great country song.
Every metal band should do a country song to take the place of every country song ever written by a country singer.
That's a good point.
There we go.
That's pretty good.
I just made it
You
think.
fucking thought that one. Did you think that one out before you got here?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Totally improvised.
Son of a bitch! You nailed that one.
Flip like that.
I choked on my own tongue there for a second. It was weird. You ever do that? Like your tongue gets in the way and your mouth just fucking like dies?
Well, sometimes they have a sip of beer and usually something funny, and then when it's, that happens often.
You just never had your mouth completely fall apart? And you're just like, blah, 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 blah.
I don't think so.
That's what I do every day of my life.
That's a thing.
Because not only are my boobies fat, my tongue is fat too. My mouth is fat. Everything about me is fat. We're still
talking about the White Album.
talking about this album right here.
Self-titled.
This album with
Awesome.
critical acclaim and Almost Easy, and yes, I'm reading it off the back of the thing, and Scream, which is fucking great.
There's a song about having a heater in your truck.
There's no fucking truck.
That's not what he's saying?
A heater on her thighs?
Oh, well, that's entirely different.
That's a song that happened. And guess what? Also, my favorite Avenged Sevenfold song.
Actually, look up the video for that one, because it's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah. Okay, you're right. Yeah.
When you're done
Yeah.
watching this YouTube thing, go to that YouTube thing
Yes.
and watch that. What's the name of the song again?
Piece of Heaven.
Piece of Heaven. Look that up and have a great time for, what, 7 minutes? Or
Yeah, it's
7 or 8 minutes.
yeah, it's an 8-minute song.
Great video, great song.
And it's ridiculous. It's not like anything Avenged had done before.
No, it's not like it hasn't been done before,
Right.
but
Well,
they did.
there is a band called Mr. Bungle that maybe kind of
Influenced it a bit?
spearheaded that goofy what the fuck is happening thing with Mike Patton,
Mike Patton from Faith No More.
who is probably a musical genius, because that guy is
He even does soundtracks.
he's out of his mind.
In fact, he did one for Stephen King, made for TV,
Yes.
Netflix or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
You probably even know what it's called.
I do. I don't remember it now.
It's a year.
Look it up.
No, it's a year.
1928.
There you go.
Oh, holy! It's, you know what? Listen to me. Listen, kids.
He's got the smart.
It's not always easy. What the fuck? What happened? I was saying the thing, you just fucking like had a stroke in the middle of it.
Keep going.
No, you blew it now. God, you blew it.
Sorry.
You blew it.
Sorry. Not really that sorry, but...
This is the White Album.
And it's great.
Self-titled Avenged.
It's nearly perfect.
They had some big fat fucking hits on this that were on the radio like yesterday. Like they're still playing some of these songs on the radio.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. Scream on that?
Scream is on this, yeah.
It's probably the worst song on the album. And that's an amazing
Yeah.
song.
Yeah, and
So
here's
there you go. There's what you have to judge things against.
side
The
note.
song Scream, not the best song.
Side note. When me and Bernie actually like played in a band thing, like a couple of years ago, we were trying to learn new songs. We threw Scream into the mix for giggles because we figured it was popular, people would know it, and it's a good track.
And a human being could actually play it.
And guess what? These human beings really couldn't, because we never played it out. We fucked it up in practice and then just sat and drank the rest of the night and felt bad about ourselves.
These
basically.
human beings could play it. The rest of the human beings we were in the band with could not play it.
Okay, I don't know. They might watch this and then think we're making fun of their ability.
Okay, I couldn't play it perfectly. I'll admit it.
I couldn't really play it at all. I just faked it. It was basically like my entire career was me faking drums.
We did a fine job.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Probably did okay too.
It's still white. It's still this album that's white. Behind us, behind our faces. This is what we're talking about. Even though we didn't talk a lot about it, which we don't do very often. And if you've watched enough of our videos and you're still here, apparently you don't give a fuck if we actually talk about the album. But we did a little bit.
We did.
Great album. This is the last album with the Rev on drums.
Yep, that's right.
Before he died.
But there's one more that he was on
Yes.
that we had to go over.
We're gonna get to that, right? Right now-ish.
Roll that.
Like right now-ish.
Roll that right
Let's.
now.
You know what?
Right now.
You know
Roll
what?
that right
You
now.
know what? Fuck editing. Fuck editing and fuck editing software.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking get up like a fat piece of shit, and I'm gonna fucking turn the picture to a different picture. It's gonna blow your fucking mind like magic's in your mouth.
And go.
Oh wait, fat guy moving. Wait, just keep holding it up there.
I am.
Oh shit! Where's the button? There's a button. You still holding it up? Oh my god, I'm so fat. Oh, I hate how fat I am. Wait, what album are we doing now?
City of Evil.
Oh, that album.
Pain.
That's not paint. Open with paint.
Pain.
I'm not cutting any of this.
There we go. That's it.
Because I have lost all respect for this channel and myself. Which is obviously why I am the fat piece of shit that I am.
Put this back in Bob for dramatic effect.
I don't care.
All right.
If you care, go ahead. Send me really cool things about how I should lose weight. Send me like fucking recipes where I can eat like fucking coffee grounds and garbage and I'll be skinny tomorrow. Cause fuck you. I'm gonna eat pizza bites like a fat motherfucker and I'm gonna love it. I'm not gonna care about you.
And then City of Evil happened,
It's a love-hate relationship.
which, in our opinion, is the best album that they've ever released.
Was this like 2005, somewhere in there?
It had to be about, give or take. I don't know. I'm not really into looking at it right now.
Well, it's in there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it in a minute.
Yeah. Play
Like
it.
not right now. So I'm leaning. I'm leaning on my good arm, like away from you.
Yes.
You smell like patchouli and balls. That's weird.
That is weird. I don't know what that is.
We should have
strange
cut this video and regrouped so I didn't say patchouli and balls. But we're keeping it because we love you guys and you could appreciate that he smells like patchouli and balls.
Yeah, if you're here by now, you probably don't mind anything that's being said right now.
True.
But
True.
City of Evil.
City of Evil.
City of Evil.
2005
Ish.
ish.
It's the best they've done.
It's probably the best metal album that was released in years at this point. I mean,
You know, I really haven't compared albums in the 2000s, but this might.
what
It could be the best album in the 2000s.
What
as far
other
as
classic
goes.
metal bands that came out of the 80s? What other classic, or out of, well, even the 90s? Like, what classic bands came out of those periods that were still doing
Anything
like
like this?
really
None.
great quality music?
None. Metallica was still releasing albums. Megadeth was still releasing albums.
Unfortunately.
They were alright.
Some of them were absolute. Some of them were piss. Like just
Exodus.
big bottles of steaming piss.
Overkill.
Piss.
Testament.
Steaming piss.
Slayer.
Bubbling, stinky piss.
None of them released anything that was
Especially Slayer.
worth really talking about.
What did Slayer do?
I don't know.
Like in the 2000s.
They got so bad.
Like just like here's an album of suck.
They just kept releasing the same album over and over again. And it just seemed worse every time because it was the same album over and over again. The only band that held any type of candle to these guys is maybe Trivium.
Oh, Trivium. Trivium's kind of great. They have a lot of hate too, but we'll get to Trivium at some point too.
Yeah. But this is probably this might be the best of the entire 2000s right here. City of Evil.
Yeah.
And okay, this is how we came into Avenged Sevenfold in the first place. We had a band. And I don't listen to the radio. I can care less about listening to the same 6 songs on a rotation every hour. But when you're in a band, I knock over some cans. When you're in a band, you kind of have to play music that, the people that they want to hear. You want people to come out and, pay their couple of bucks to see you, and that's probably not good for your CDs. But anyway, since not listening to radio, I had no idea what was popular, so I go on the internet and start looking up top 20 modern rock songs, top 20 pop songs. All of a sudden, this song pops up called Bat Country.
Yes.
And another song called The Beast and the Harlot.
Yes.
Like, what's this?
Yeah.
So I listen to them. And it blows my mind that somehow these songs are in like the top 20 of popular songs going on right now. They sound like a cross between Metallica, Iron Maiden, there's power metal in there. It's everything that
it was completely out of
heads want.
It was completely out of it didn't make sense in 2005 because nothing else was doing it.
I don't even know how it was popular.
It was like a rebirth of like a power metal-y, and it's not. I mean, I can't even say that because power metal was still very strong back, and this is not power metal by any means.
No, but it had elements of it.
But it has elements of everything, and that's the thing. What makes it accessible to almost any metal fan? You're going to hear a little bit about. You're going to hear a little thrash in there. You're going to hear a little bit of power metal. You're going to hear a little about classic metal. It's all in there, and it's done so fucking well.
You got your Maiden influence in there. You have your the growly type vocals if you're into that sort of thing. It was all there, and so I take this to practice one day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, how about this? Well, clearly it didn't fly.
No.
But we became fans.
Yeah,
right off the bat.
That was pretty much the day where I don't even remember, and maybe we should have talked about this before we ramble more about it on screen, but I almost want to say that you made us listen to the song at practice.
I probably did. I probably
made us hear it, play it off the internet or something, and actually listen to the song.
Most likely, I probably burned it onto a disc.
Maybe.
And brought it to practice along with a couple other songs that were on this top 20, rock hits, whatever. And of course, this was the one I was most proud of. I don't think we did any of them.
No, we didn't. We didn't. And that was no fault of our own.
But it didn't matter. It made us fans of this band.
Yeah.
We discovered something that we didn't even know existed.
And it's made us fans to this day. For better or worse, not everything is this. Most things in their catalog are not this.
Right.
This really is their peak as far as I'm concerned.
And the next one, the White Album,
right,
is just as good.
Right.
I mean, it's 1A and 1B, really.
Yeah.
Those two albums. And then Nightmare is 2.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it was something I never thought I would really hear again, especially at the time period it came out.
Especially in the mid-2000s.
And when you brought it in at a drunken band practice and said, "Hey, can we think about doing this?"
Because it's popular.
The second I heard it, I was like, "There's no fucking way we're going to be able to play this."
It's popular.
There's no way. These guys are crazy. We were a 4-piece band, and these guys are like a 5-piece band that sound like a 28-piece band.
I was willing to try.
No way we can do it. Seize the Day is also on here. Is it not? Wait, get that. What? Why do you do that?
Because you put it in there.
Why do you gotta keep ruining everything with your fucking big meat hooks?
Seize the Day, right there. Yes.
Badass. Seize the Day. Phenomenal ballad. And if when you're done with our video, go look up Seize the Day on Avenged Sevenfold's channel and look at the video for this thing. If the video does not hit you in the feels, then you don't feel. The video is miserable. but in the best possible way. These guys they're creative. They're creative in so many ways, musically, visually. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and this is where they nailed all of that. This is where they tied it all together and made a perfect fucking metal album.
Yep. And perhaps the most essential album of the 2000s.
Yeah.
We'll see as we
Yeah.
go on here.
Yeah. Or maybe it's some kind of, maybe it's Saint Anger by Metallica. Maybe that's the one.
Oh, wait. No. No.
Can I do something right now that's going to blow your mind?
I didn't bring my steel drum.
You want to hear? Here's the entire drum sound from Lars on that entire album.
Didn't it sound more like this?
That's actually much closer, probably. Yeah. So thanks, Lars, for unlearning drums and for like basically erasing a good drum sound from life just by being you with your fucking head thing that you're doing. This. Thanks, Lars. Thanks for Napster. Thanks for Metallica post 1992.
But Lars, we're not going to let you ruin this. All right, let's not lose sight of. You're probably losing sight because I'm shaking it.
You are. Stop doing that.
Let's not lose sight of this album right
No.
here, which might be the best album.
It's a perfect damn album.
It is perfect. It is absolutely perfect. So, start here and stop here, and you won't be disappointed.
Right. But you know what? Check it out. Either side.
Yeah, definitely.
Check before it. Check after
You
it.
need it.
These guys have a long career, longish career now.
We're looking forward to their next one
Yes.
to see if it's anything like this,
Yeah.
or the White Album,
Hopes.
or even Nightmare for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
But we got a little bit more to go.
Yep. We got
we have a little more to cover.
our usual honorable and dishonorable mention.
Right, so you've already seen the best there is to see. But at this point, we've been drinking the whole time, so this next couple minutes might be the best of the show. So
Shocking.
stick around.
In the year of our Lord, 2016-ish,
Happened this.
this thing right here, the stage.
Yeah.
This is our honorable mention, even though we didn't give numbers to our albums tonight, just like our previous video, because their albums were really close, and when a band is solid for that long, it's hard to really rate one album as greater than the other.
True that. And this is their most recent one. And we talked about it a little bit as we've gone through the course of the night here. It does rate a little bit lower. They went a little bit different direction. They're a little more experimental on this one.
Yeah.
And this is an album that seems to just keep growing as time goes by. They keep adding tracks to it over time.
Yeah. And they're all cover songs.
Yeah.
But they
do a good job on them.
They were like just like releasing like a song on fucking Spotify or like social media outlets.
But somehow it's still tied to this album.
And then they just like kept tacking it onto this album. Then eventually they released a deluxe edition that had all those weird cover songs.
Right. So now this album is 187 tracks long.
180. It's close to that, I think. It is close to that.
But it's not quite 187. But it's much longer than it was in 2016. And it's definitely another good album. You kind of have to be a little bit of a fan of them, I think, to begin with, to appreciate this one.
Yeah, I think so.
You have to have kind of an open mind as well, too.
Because you really have to look dig deeper into the songs to hear a lot of those things that everybody loved
that they did before,
right? On City of Evil and stuff like that. You have to really dig for those things.
They're trying something a little bit different. A lot of times it works. A lot of times it's a little iffy.
Right.
Any less a great album? No, it's a great album.
It is a great album. It slows down somewhere in the midpoint, and it kind of keeps staying in that slower, dronier kind of thing. 'Cause, I mean, like the first song on the album, the title track.
Oh, well, there you go.
Is fucking excellent. It's exactly what I would want from Avenged.
Pretty much through the whole entire album.
Yeah.
But you don't get that.
No.
You get these crazy, weird, sometimes very short songs that are a little oddball. Sometimes you get a really long song that, half of it's really good and the other half is like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Or doesn't do anything at all.
Or it just happens and you're like,
mm-hmm.
We're on the next song now?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to that one again.
But this is kind of at that point in this band's career now where there's a decision to make, I think. Like,
right.
What way are they going to go? Because
we alluded to this earlier.
They got through the Nightmare thing after the Rev died, and they got Mike Portnoy, who's phenomenal. He filled the shoes perfectly. Great album. The next album, they had a different drummer.
And they did their tribute album.
Right, but that drummer was not great.
And he didn't need to be for what they were doing because they were just...
Or did they dumb it down because he couldn't fucking handle it?
I don't know.
But
nothing I've ever read tells me one way or the other what was going on there. Because, like we said before, they deny anything on that album other than the fact that it exists, and they thought it was what they wanted to do.
Yeah,
that's all they'll admit to.
But now you have this guy.
Yeah,
who's a different guy that was on that album. You have this guy, the Bad Religion guy.
Right.
He's no slouch.
Just
Bad Religion has some badass fucking songs.
I really never listened to any Bad Religion, but I know from what I hear on this album, yeah, he's good.
No,
he can do the job.
He's a very solid drummer. He's much closer to the Rev. Well, I mean, and not even close. You can't really get close to the Rev. But he's much closer than what the previous drummer was, who played in the previous album. And I think that because of that, they've had to continuously get a new member in, like every album, a new drummer, a new drummer, a new drummer. And so this album, I think now that they've done that with him, and he's still there for the follow-up album, they're going to grow with him, and it's going to be more organic, and they're going to find their sound again.
Right.
Who knows what that sound is?
Yeah, that's what we're going to find out. That's what we're kind of both looking forward to and dreading a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if they go for the heavier side of what's going on in this album, then they're going to be fine. If they go for the other part of what's going on in this album, then we're probably not going to be big Avenged fans anymore.
Yeah, well, I'll always be a fan of the albums that we love, but a band can't stay relevant forever if they keep fucking everything up, album after album. What
he said.
Oh.
But this one is not that. This is good. This is worth a listen.
Yes.
Get this one.
Yep.
Check it out.
Yep.
You won't be disappointed.
Look up the deluxe edition because there's like 8 other songs. They're all cover songs, but they did some great stuff. They did like a Faith No More cover, I think, or something, or a Bungle. They did a Bungle cover.
Is that Bungle or Faith No More?
I think it was a Bungle cover.
Oh, I can't remember.
They covered Pink Floyd on here.
Yeah.
They did other stuff. Like I don't know. So I don't actually own the full Wait, let me get rid of my.
What's that now?
It's a drink apparently. I've never
Mama Juana.
I've never that what he said. Yeah. I've never had. Nope, the hat's still on. I've never had the courage to open this thing and actually drink it because I might die. It's all sealed in here for like the last 10 years from the Dominican Republic, and I really don't know what to do with it. I'm probably gonna die, so I'm not gonna drink it. But I am gonna put it down here. Just look what I'm gonna do right here. Look what I did. Look what I did. Can you still see it? I don't care. I don't fucking care. What? Oh shit! Bam! Look at me digging in here. Look at that. Look what I just did. Look at that.
There it is.
There's the album itself. There it is.
And a spaceman on the
with
back.
that space guy. Look at him. Look at him fucking floating toward you. Look at that.
Oh, this is apparently some kind of concept album too.
If there is a concept, I don't understand it.
I mean, maybe it's less apparent.
Like, maybe it's like a loosely, like a thematic kind of thing or something. I really don't know, but
it's been described as a concept album.
yeah.
I missed the concept.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
So
I don't understand either.
there you go.
But-
Dive a little deeper into the words and stuff if you want
Yeah,
to see if it's a
yeah.
concept album. If it is, well, let us know because forget it. We don't care.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't know. We don't care. We don't care about anything right now. We don't. It's literally like 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. We've been drinking for like 28 fucking years.
Yeah, it's getting bright out.
Or something, like straight out. Like we don't even know. But great album, The Stage, 20, whatever the fuck we said in the beginning of the video, because I can't remember anymore.
16.
Yeah, that. Oh my god.
It's not 7. It's 658.
He's so fucking loud. Everything he does. But he cannot ruin The Stage. Great album. Honorable mention. Check it out. Not as good as the stuff we talked about previously, but it's
still worth it.
It's a great album in the mix, and you should check it out. You won't be let down, or you will. And guess what? Also, don't give a fuck. Now we're gonna do the next album
Which probably will let you down.
that I also don't give a fuck about. We got lazy. We have no idea when this fucking album came out. Like 2001-ish, somewhere around there.
I'm going to go with that. 2001.
This new stupid bunch of fucking kids throw an album out there independently, I think, originally. And it's this thing. It's this sounding the seventh trumpet. It sounds so much cooler than it is. Like, seriously.
7 Crumpets sounds better.
Buttering the 7 crumpets.
Right.
That's-
Buttering the 7 Crumpets.
That's the new one. That's the new. We're gonna word it. Okay, good. But the album is good, but it's not.
No, it's a bit underproduced.
It
I mean,
is.
good for early 2000s. But,
Sure.
It's a bit underproduced. This is pretty much the definition of metalcore.
Yeah.
Like I said before, if you want to hear what that sounds like, listen to this album. That's what they do. There's a bit of harmony going on in here vocally.
Yeah.
Here and there, it's sporadic. You're not going to find a guitar solo anywhere. You're certainly not going to find any guitar harmonies in this
Nope.
thing. This one went straight ahead, hardcore metal with a bit of harmony vocally. But you still can kind of see here and there where they were going to go
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah.
And thank God they evolved. And they didn't decide, hey, this is what we're going to be from. They weren't stubborn. Even if they on their own decided they were going to do something different, or somebody pointed in the right direction, and they made things better. As said earlier, after this album, they decided, oh, you know what would be a nice thing to have? A lead guitar player.
That's an important thing.
Yeah, and they did that. This album, no, not so much.
Not at all. Basically.
Don't be looking for any guitar magic on this.
Yeah. You're not getting crazy solos. You're not getting clean vocals. You're not getting a lot of melody or vocal harmony or guitar harmony. You're not getting any of that. This is... Maybe you'll hate me for saying this. I don't fucking care. This is like the shit that I don't like. Really at all.
Yeah.
I'm not so much into this. I need melody in my metal. You know,
Yeah.
Metallica from day one. You know, thrash, but their first album there was melody. There was melody
absolutely.
mixed in. This album didn't really have a whole lot of that. There wasn't any really hooky stuff. It didn't none of the hooks would grab you.
Certainly not in a guitar music-oriented part of it.
Yeah.
They did have a bit of a vocal thing going on here and there.
Right.
But most of it was just this straight-ahead hardcore metal thing going on and screaming like nuts. That's the trademark of the hardcore sound. It's just a lot of screaming. But yeah, if you dig a little deeper, you can find the roots of what they became, and that's all right.
I mean, a lot of
Definitely listen to this one last.
a lot of fans of this band really like this one because M Shadows was still just screaming and doing that growly thing that he did.
Well, those are the fans that like hardcore and metalcore.
And then once he got clean, they heard that Kermit the Frog thing kind of come out of his voice.
Which is all right.
And I think that lost a lot of people. It didn't lose it for me.
I think it gained about million more people than it lost.
Yes. Well, based on album sales, it gained like probably
2 million people
like
more
10
than
million
it
more
lost.
people or some shit. But
So it was the right choice. Good job, Avenged.
yeah.
Whoever made the decision to change a little bit, well done,
Yeah.
sirs. This is not where you wanted to stay.
Right. And it's still, and we're being maybe a little harsh. It's still a fucking great album. It's still a great album, especially for a bunch of early 20-year-old kids putting together an album themselves independently.
Yep.
And releasing this. I couldn't have done it when I was 20 years old. I mean, the songwriting is still really good. It's just a different genre than where my comfort zone is.
Right.
But,
Well done, band.
yeah.
You released something listenable
Yeah.
in a lot of different areas. Not our thing.
No, not so much,
Not really our thing.
but still good enough. It's still good enough to listen to.
Yeah, we'd say dishonorable lightly this time.
Yeah.
This is not a hateful,
No, it's not.
you don't ever want to listen to this album.
I can still listen to this album.
It's their worst album.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason it's dishonorable. Because it's the worst they've done.
Yeah.
And boy, they got a lot better.
And hopefully you'll watch this entire video and see why they got a whole lot better. And check out City Evil, and check out the White Album, and check out
Nightmare.
pretty much everything else we discussed tonight. Because you're going to see this band constantly progress and become better. And then maybe slide off
Until
a little
they
bit.
regress a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But we're hopeful that
Yeah.
in the future they return to the City of Evil White
Yeah,
Album.
there's hope for them to come back because they're very talented musicians, and we know they can do
Right.
the craziest shit you're ever going to hear.
But the one thing that they're never, ever, ever going to do again is butter 7 trumpets.
No. Who even? Ew. I'm sorry. I'm gonna vomit over the crumpet thing. Right. I'm gonna do not the trumpet thing. The trumpet thing's okay.
Oh, trumpets.
The crumpet
Trumpets?
thing. That's
that is a T, isn't it?
We're gonna just eat crumpets forever now. Our entire diet. So I can even become a fatter, disgusting piece of shit than I am now. Just eating a bunch of fucking cakes covered in butter. Good job, Europe, for bringing these fucking crumpet things.
Tea is good for you.
After eating like fucking 3 dozen crumpets, 'cause I don't eat just one. Crumpets are like fucking Lays. They can't eat just one.
I guess it's like having a Diet Coke with your Big Mac.
I'm gonna have a diet beer with my signing the fuck off thing because we did enough tonight.
Thanks again for joining us.
Exactly.
Come back next week. We'll have something else for you. We're not 100% sure what it's going to be yet.
Yeah, not yet. We got more rock, more metal, more grunge, more punky stuff. More.
Yeah, we're going to try something else. Maybe.
We got a lot of shit coming up. We spent a lot of time on this, so we hope you spend a lot of time watching it and telling your friends about it. If you don't, basically fuck you. Is what I'm gonna say.
Or Lars and his SWAT team is going to smash through your windows and steal your computer.
You do not want Lars showing up at your house.
Because he does that. He steals your computer.
Have you ever seen his head? I'm a drummer. That's Lars Ulrich. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for tuning into this episode. We're going to do more episodes every fucking week. We're going to keep banging this shit out.
Yep.
Getting some good content, hopefully. We hope you agree. We love it. We love doing this. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Tell your friends. Go on Facebook. Tell all your friends there. Share this shit around. Maybe we'll see you in 5 fucking years. But only if you help us do it.
Thanks for being there. And you in the back, you can put your hand down.
Not pig.
Good night.